Hi everyone, it's Laura here from TWG Designs. I'm back today with another digital planner flip through video. This is the latest digital planner in our collection and I'm so excited to share this with you guys. So this planner is a party planner specifically created for those who love to host, those who love to entertain, and I honestly created this out of my own personal need. My husband and I have been hosting parties ever since we got married 7 years ago now. So I will say I do have quite a bit of hosting experience under my belt. This is available in the shop now. I will leave a link in the description box below. So I know I'm not the only one out there who would really benefit from something like this, and I can't wait to jump in so you guys can check out all of the pages and templates. Before we start, I just want to quickly mention I'm on the iPad Pro 12.9 inch and I use the Apple Pencil. The app that I'll be using for today's demo is called Goodnotes 5. It's by far my favorite digital planning app, but there are other ones out there and this planner is compatible with any PDF annotation app across iOS and Android devices. Be sure to check the video description for details on all of that, and you can always email me if you have questions prior to purchasing. This video will be split into a couple of sections, and I will leave timestamps in the description box in case you want to jump around. The first thing I'm going to do is a quick flip through of all of the pages so that you can see all of the different templates and the general layout of the planner. The next section of this video is going to be a how-to, and I'll be sharing 2 different ways that you can set up this planner because it is very customizable. And lastly, if you stay to the end of the video, I'll be showing you a few example pages fully filled out so you can see exactly how I use this to plan a party. All right, so let's jump right into the flip through. This planner is called the Perfect Gatherings Party Planner, and what we're looking at here is the cover page. I did include a few extra cover page designs in case you want to swap this out and customize it, but this is the default cover that will come with your planner when you download it. After the cover page is a welcome page. Here you'll find links to my shop, Instagram, and all of that. Again, this is a fully hyperlinked planner, so you can tap on tabs and buttons and it will take you directly to the link or page. The bottom half of the welcome page has a couple of quick planner basics. After the welcome page, you'll see the index page. You can always access the index page by tapping on this blue star in the top right-hand corner. This page is like your home page for the planner. So this digital planner is a little different because its main focus is party planning. So you have the bulk of the templates right here in the middle. These are all going to be your party planning templates. You can copy and paste each template over and over and create your own custom sections here on the right-hand side in these tabs, and I will go over how to do that shortly. Now, you may not need to use every single template for every single party that you plan, but I wanted to make sure that I made this planner really versatile and also kind of all-encompassing, so it's like your ultimate party planning tool. This will hopefully keep your party planning process really organized and streamlined, and I just love that this is so easy to take with you on the go. You can throw it in your handbag and take it with you to meetings or appointments. Aside from the party planning templates, I also wanted to include monthly, weekly, and daily page templates so that you can further organize your party planning process. On the left-hand side of the index page, you'll see all of the months from January to December, as well as a yearly calendar. And down here on the left-hand side, you'll see further undated planner pages. Again, this is an undated planner, so you can use it year after year. All you have to do is make a copy of the original PDF file, rename it with the year that you'll be using it for, and you're good to go. On the right-hand side, you have 12 tabs for customization, as well as a small tab index where you can label each tab and also access the tabs straight from there. And once again, this blue sparkle star will take you right back to the index page from any page in the planner. Aside from the party planner pages and the monthly, weekly, and daily planner pages, you'll also receive a few notebook templates and list options down here. I also want to note that from the index page, you can tap right back over to the welcome page. You can access the digital planner user guide, and you can also tap this section in the middle to head back to the cover page. So just like all of our digital planners, you can access each page by simply swiping, or you can use the hyperlinks. Everything here is hyperlinked, so June, venue and floor plan, a dotted notebook page. So these planners are so easy to use and navigate, and I will show you later on how to customize each of these 12 tabs, because essentially what you can do is copy and paste any of these templates as many times as you'd like, behind any of these tabs to create your own perfect party planning layout. So before we jump into how to actually use this planner, I do want to show you every single one of these planner templates so you can see just how much detail and thought went into every single stage of the party planning process. We're going to start right where it says start here, and that is the event overview page. So let's tap on that. And here you have the event overview. When it comes to planning a party, filling this page out first is ideal because you'll have a general overview of the party and you can quickly reference things like the number of guests, activities, decorations, everything is in one spot. This page essentially acts like a mini or condensed party planner in and of itself. I have really taken the time to make sure every detail is included. And like I said, I highly suggest starting here when it comes to planning any party. All right, so after the event overview, we have a mood board. This is just your general mood board. However, at the bottom, I made sure to include a section for color palettes and hex code numbers. I am an avid mood board user and I have to have a mood board before I plan any party. It really just sets the tone for the event. I highly recommend using this for images and just to jot down a few quick notes. Next up, we have decorations. On the decorations page at the very top, you can fill in the event theme, and this page really compartmentalizes every single area of decor for the event. And under each section, there is a spot for inspiration photos as well as inventory on hand to make and to buy lists at the very bottom. Following decorations is the dress code page. So you'll see spot for the event date, venue, season. I've included a list of the most commonly used dress code options as well as a themed option down here so you can fill this out if you're going to have a dress code that isn't one of your standard ones. On the right hand side, there's a shopping list as well as a small mini mood board for inspiration. And at the very bottom, I included a section for styling so you can further break things down by outfit, shoes and handbag, jewelry and accessories, and hair and makeup. Next up, we have activities and games. Here you can plan out different activities or games, the duration, any rules and description, if you're going to offer prizes, and any notes. After that, we have entertainment and music. At the top of this template, you have 3 slots for entertainment with details like contact name, phone number, the pricing, deposit paid, email, all of that. At the very bottom, there are 2 spots, one for DJ or musicians and one for music playlist. So in case you want to do like a Spotify playlist, you can make note of that here. Next up, we have photography and video. You can input all of the information for a photographer or videographer. I also wanted to make sure I included a spot for inspiration images or video stills on this page. This is a great spot to put in any inspo photos or pose examples or anything that you want to reference when it comes to the photography or the videography of the event. After you have the menu page, which is also one of my most commonly used pages, at the top you'll see the different setup styles. So you have formal sit-down, buffet, grazing, potluck, and past hors d'oeuvre. I've also broken things down into different sections like appetizers, main dishes, sides, and you can write down the dish and any notes. I've also gone ahead and included a spot for presentation ideas. So again, you can throw in some inspiration photos here. And I've also thrown in a potluck planner with a list for dish and who's bringing. At the very bottom, you'll see there's also a spot for guests with dietary restrictions. So you can make sure to keep that in mind when you're coming up with your menu. Aside from the menu, there's a separate template just for beverages and desserts because sometimes it gets a little more detailed. I personally really love to have a signature drink at each of my events, so I have 2 slots for that. In the dessert section, I kind of use this as more of a quick little recipe planner where you can have the name, ingredients, and any notes or prep ideas. Next up, we have shopping lists, and this is broken down by decor, food, activities, beverages, serveware, other. And at the bottom, there are 3 additional lists, including things to thrift, what to buy online, and shop my stash. And this is to essentially remind you to take a look at the things you may already have on hand and shop your own party planning supply stash before going and buying anything new. Next up, we have the pre-event checklist. If you're hosting an event that has a lot of moving pieces or maybe requires a little bit more in terms of planning, you can use this pre-event checklist to schedule out tasks and to-dos from a month before the party, a week before the party, and a day before the party. Next up, we have a cleaning checklist. This is really great to use either before or after the event. So I've broken it down by area, kitchen, bathroom, living room, dining room, exteriors, as well as a blank one for you to fill in. And you can also add some notes on the right-hand side. Next up, we have the guest list, including the name, phone number, email, address, and dietary restriction for each guest, as well as a spot for if they have been invited and what their RSVP is. After the guest list, we have the invitations page. This is a great page for planning out your invitations, deciding whether it's going to be physical, digital, an Evite, or using another online platform. You can also take note of any vendor or designer that you'll be using for your invitations and use this spot right here for any design inspiration. I like to throw in some pictures here of invites that I find on Pinterest or Instagram. The bottom half of the page is also really helpful because you can add things like the information you want to include on the invitations, including the occasion, date, time, location, any dress code, registry, and RSVP instructions. And then at the very bottom, this is just a spot for you to quickly sketch up any mock-ups you may have or jot down any ideas. Next up, we have the seating chart. Now, this is going to vary based on your event venue or location, but this is very helpful if you're going to have assigned seating or a seating chart. I went ahead and included the most commonly used table styles, but you can also create your own here. And then you have slots for 10 tables and a seating chart, as well as an open spot for a floor plan design. Next up, we have the event timeline. This is important if you have an event that requires a certain flow or you'd like certain things to happen at a given time. So it's basically just a schedule with the time, the description, and any notes. Next up is the vendors and suppliers template. This is pretty straightforward. 8 different slots for you to take down any vendor or supplier information, including their email, phone number, and maybe any notes you may have while meeting with them. Next up, we have rentals. This is helpful for large events if you're going to be renting things like tables, chairs, linens. And again, there are 4 slots for you to take note of all of the company information, as well as any deposits paid, return date and time. And as you can see, I really tried to think of every last detail when it comes to these templates. Moving on, we have the budget page. Here you have the budget broken down by different categories, including food and beverage, venue, prizes and favors, all the way down to videography and including one for an outfit. This is helpful for you as a host if you know you'll be purchasing an outfit and maybe you want to give yourself a budget for that. Next, we have the expense tracker. This is just another budgeting tool, but it goes even further into detail. You can keep track of every single line item on things that you've purchased for the event and include information by category, store, vendor, cost, and any notes. After the expense tracker, we have a gift idea log. If you're out and about somewhere and you see something that you might want to take note for a future gift, you can write down the gift idea, occasion, the store, the price, and the recipient. Next up, similar to the gift idea, is the theme idea log, and I personally love this page because I love a themed party, so I'm constantly thinking of new party themes and finding ideas on Pinterest, so this is a great spot to just log all of your ideas, and I've broken it down by occasion, season, dress code, the decor vibe, venue, location, and a spot for any inspiration pics. The last 2 party templates are intended to be used post-party. So we have post-event notes, and here's where you can kind of reflect on the event or party that you just had and take down some overall notes, maybe make note of your favorite moments, what went really well, and potentially even include a few things that didn't work very well. At the very bottom, there's a spot for things I learned and things to do next time, as well as a cute little rating system for the event. On the very last page of the Party Planner templates is an event photo album. Great little spot to throw in any photos from the event. I've included a cute little Polaroid grid where you can just add your photos and write little notes. This is also a great spot to do a little bit of scrapbooking and include things like decorative stickers. So that's it for the party planning templates. After that, on the bottom left of the index, you'll see a few undated planner pages, so I'm going to quickly go over those. First up, we have the yearly calendar. This is like a year at a glance, broken down into quarters. If you want to make any notes about key dates for quarter 1, 2, 3, or 4. This is a 6-week monthly spread, and I've also included a spot at the bottom of each month for any kind of important dates or something that you want to focus on for that month in particular. After that, we have the yearly overview page, and this is again broken down by quarter. Just a great spot to write down any goals, important dates, birthdays, or any events that you know you want to plan for a specific month. So before we go into the weekly and daily pages, I'm going to take you through each of the monthly pages. On the left-hand side, you'll see icons for January through December. Now, each of these will take you to the monthly overview page. Again, this is a 6-week spread. I will mention that because this is more of a party planner, the monthly, weekly, and daily pages are not hyperlinked. I just want to make note of that. Simply because this planner, the main goal is for it to be a party planner specifically, and I would just use the monthly, weekly, and daily planners as more of an add-on feature. But either way, I just want to go through each of these. So you have a monthly at a glance with your standard notes section, priority goals, and things to do for next month. Aside from all the monthly overviews, I also went ahead and included a weekly page template that you can copy and paste at any point throughout this planner. So if you're mid-party planning and you just want to make sure that you have the week prior to the party super planned out and scheduled down to the T, you can copy and paste this page in whatever tab you're working with, and you have the week before the party at your fingertips and perfectly planned out. Another thing to note about the weekly planner pages is that they do link to the blank note pages directly, so you can tap on any of these note pages and it will take you to a note page. On the weekly page, you'll see top 3 priority, a to-do list, and a quick grid for notes. You'll also see that I included 2 different daily page options. The first one is more of a block scheduled daily planner, so you have morning, afternoon, and evening, as well as a today, moment of gratitude, top 3 priority, to do, and notes. I also went ahead and included the hydration and mood trackers. So this is the first daily planner layout. The second daily planner layout is broken down by an hourly planner. So you have 5 a.m. all the way through 11 p.m. And once again, from the daily planner pages, you can access any of the blank note pages. Speaking of the note pages, from the index on the bottom right-hand corner, you'll also have access to a lined page, grid page, dotted page, blank, and blank dark. So I'm going to quickly just show you. This is just your standard lined note page. Next up, we have the grid page, and I do leave a little space at the top in case you want to add a title or a sticker or box. We have a dotted page, which is like your standard bullet journal, a white blank, and a black blank, as well as a notes page. This page is similar to the blank notes, except it doesn't have the margin and it has the cute title at the top. Next up, we have a vision board. This is just like a general anytime vision board. Next up, we have list 1. This is a blank list page where you can add your own headers. And then list 2, which is essentially a quick to-do list, to make list, and to buy list. On the bottom right-hand corner, these icons will quickly link to some of the most commonly used party planning templates. So this first one, the star, is the event overview. The next one is the mood board. The next one is menu. Next one is decorations. And then the last one is the yearly calendar, and that I just wanted to add here because it's very helpful to have quick access to this calendar from any page in the planner. But of course, you can always tap on the blue star sparkle on the top right hand corner to access the index page where you can find absolutely everything in the planner. So now that we've flipped through every single page of the planner, I'm going to try to quickly explain the 2 ways that I highly recommend using this planner. But again, this is all personal preference. You can use these 12 tabs to organize this planner whatever way you'd like. Let's say you want tab number 1 to just be mood boards, and you can put a bunch of mood boards under tab number 1. Tab number 4 can be only your activities and games tab, and under that tab you can just put a bunch of different activities and games pages, so you can do it like that. You can also set it up where each tab is a different event, which is how I personally use this planner. So each event would have its own tab, and then behind each tab I would put whatever template I need to use to plan that event. So let's say tab number 4 would be a birthday party, and I would include the mood board, the decorations, the menu, and only use the templates that I need behind tab 4 for that specific party. Another way to use this planner is to use the tabs as kind of like a monthly, weekly, and daily planner. However, it's not the ideal way to use this because, like I mentioned before, these monthly, weekly, and daily page templates are not hyperlinked, so it's not not going to act just as seamlessly as a regular digital planner would, but if that method does make the most sense for you, I wanted to also accommodate for that, which is why I added the 12 tabs on the side so that you could have a different tab for each month of the year. Again, I do highly recommend using the tabs in whatever way works for you, but I personally use each tab for a different event, and I find that that's just the best way to compartmentalize everything, and it just keeps things really nice and organized, so I know that every single event is neatly tucked away behind each tab. If you do decide to use the planner that way, you could still use the monthly, weekly, and daily planner on this side here. So a way to do that is by simply going to each month, and you'll find that after the monthly overview page, I've gone ahead and included a weekly planner and then each of the daily planners. So what you could do if you wanted to use this section as like your weekly or daily planner, let's go to March. And if you want to fully plan out the month of March, all you'd have to do is swipe over to the weekly page. You could copy this page and paste it. And you would just have to paste the page 4 or 5 times, or depending on how many weeks that month will have. So now you've got your March, and then you've got week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and so on. And then you could even break it down further and make copies of these daily pages. Plan out the entire month of March. You could copy and paste this daily page 30 times, 31 times, however many days are in the month, and then you'd have your full calendar set up. But like I said, these pages are not hyperlinked, so to access them, you will have to swipe through or use the grid feature on Goodnotes to access the pages like that. If you use the yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily planners in that way over here, then you'd still have your 12 tabs open and available to organize things by event or by content. You can also set up your tabs by including the monthly page as the first page and then go in and add all of the party planning specific pages. So let's use October as an example. I would want to use tab 10 for October because it's the 10th month of the year. So I would head over to October, copy this page, head over to tab number 10, and paste page after. So now after tab 10, we've got the month of October. Next thing I want to do is add an event overview because I know that in October I'm going to be hosting, let's say, a Halloween party. So I'm going to head over to the event overview page, copy, back over to tab number 10, and I want to paste that event page directly after the monthly calendar. Paste page, and just like that, I've got my tab number 10, the October monthly calendar, and the event overview. So you can slowly start to insert each of the page templates behind any tab in whatever order you'd like, and you can copy and paste each one endless times to create your own perfectly customized party planning tabs. And like I mentioned, from whatever page you're at in the planner, I did go ahead and include these quick links on the bottom right-hand corner. So the first one is the event overview, then you have the mood board, then you have the menu, decorations, and then the very last icon is your year at a glance. So no matter where you are in the planner, you can just quickly access those party planning templates, and you won't have to head to the index page every single time. You can reorganize the pages as well by heading to the little icon up here with the boxes, and this will show you kind of like a grid view of the entire layout of your planner, so you can quickly kind of rearrange the pages as needed. Okay, now that we've gone over how to use the planner and how to kind of organize the tabs, I also want to show you some of the extras that you'll receive with the download of this planner. Along with the planner PDF, you'll also receive a pre-cropped Goodnotes sticker book. So if you are using the Goodnotes app, you can open this up as a separate tab and have it be side by side with your planner. And from here, you can quickly copy and paste things like decorative stickers, functional labels, widgets, and shapes and icons. Let's go through them quickly. We have the decorative illustrated stickers. Once again, these are hand drawn by me. And I've also gone ahead and included a Polaroid frame. These would be so fun to add to things like a mood board or an inspiration board. Next up, we have the functional labels in 2 different colorways. So you'll see everything from appointments to meetings, things to do this month, this week. I've also included each of the months, a few that you can fill in with your own writing, like people you need to text, pricing, emails, calls, things you may need to delegate to someone. And then I've also included the days of the week in this pretty script font. Next up, we have the widgets. And widgets are essentially functional stickers. You can copy and paste these on any page template and make as many copies of each one as you'd like. So here I've included an appointment label, a meeting label, a focus priority box, inspiration box, which is great to add inspo pics to any page. Then you have a couple of more specialty lists. So there's a to-do list, a DIY list, and then another things to DIY list, as well as a shopping list. And another really useful widget that I love to add to my digital planners, especially when it comes to parties and events, is this recipe card. You can use these widgets over any of the blank note pages and even further design your own custom layout. So let's say you want to have a notes page where it's just recipe cards and you can add that behind the menu template page. So again, the options here are endless. You can play around with this, get super creative, and just really DIY your own perfect planner layout. And then the last tab in the sticker book is your shapes and icons, and these are just general icons and shapes. So as a quick example, I'm going to be adding this grid widget over to a seating chart template. So the first thing you want to do is toggle your toolbar and make a copy of this widget. Head back over to your planner, and once you're on the page that you want to paste the widget, you would just tap to hold and paste, and you could resize this to fit and create your own floor plan with, make a small key and say that each square is a square foot or whatever. And so you can use things like shapes and icons to lay out different tables, whether they be round, rectangular, square, whatever you need. Let's go ahead and grab a decorative sticker just for another example. Just for fun, I'm gonna grab this disco ball copy, and we're going to paste that right over the event overview page. And paste, and here we go. You can resize this, you can place it. So that is essentially how you would use the Goodnotes sticker book. You just have to have both tabs open, and then you can toggle back and forth and access things quickly. So everything is already pre-cropped and ready for you to just copy and paste over. Now, as per usual, with the download, you also receive each of these elements as individual PNG files with transparent backgrounds. So if you're not using Goodnotes, you could still add each of these elements to your planner by adding them in as images or dragging and dropping them in from your camera roll or whatever method you prefer. And lastly, I want to show a few page examples. So what I did was kind of create like a hypothetical party, and I came up with a theme and everything. So it's kind of like a pre-planned party, which you can also find on my blog. I have a series called Party Planning. So far, I only have 2 posted. I have a garden party, and then I have a holiday sips and dips kind of girls' night in party, which is the one I'll be sharing today in these page examples. But if you have any requests for future party plans, I love to plan parties. As you can tell, there's a reason why this product is so near and dear to my heart. It truly is like my love language. So if hosting is your jam and you really enjoy the process of party planning, definitely go check out that series on my blog, and hopefully you can find something that inspires you for your next event. But I'm going to quickly show you the example pages. What I did was create a few party planning pages under tab number 2. So I labeled this sips and dip, as that is the theme of the party. The next page over is the event overview. So I went ahead and filled everything in. And as you can tell, I just kind of quickly take notes of the venue, any parking, suggested carpool, activities and entertainment. I took note that it was a potluck style where everyone brings a dip and a cocktail. I did a couple of quick notes on decoration. In the event overview page, I kind of use this bottom section as like a mini mood board. So I just pull some key images that I want to use in terms of color palette or some more general things to keep note of, as well as the name of the Pinterest board that I'll be using, and just a couple of quick notes. The next page I included was a mood board, of course. So here I pulled images mostly from Pinterest and Instagram. On the mood board, I make sure to include a lot of color, texture, details about things like the menu, food, as well as the invitations. I also will include things that kind of evoke the vibe of the party, like this little illustration, because the party itself is meant to be quirky Christmas, kind of retro/vintage inspired. So I thought that this little illustration just kind of encompassed what I was going for. And then of course, because it's a sips and dips party, I included a few really aesthetic little cocktails and a bar setup that inspired me to create maybe like a custom ice bar with some garnishes. And then I also included a few inspiration images for some of the activities and DIYs that I plan to have. Lastly, I went ahead and filled out the color palette information. As you can see, for the green, I added 2. So you can get really creative with this. Like, don't feel limited to if there's only 5 slots for colors, like you only have to pick 5 colors. Like, really, this is meant for you to use this in whatever way works best for you. So there's really no right or wrong way to use any of these templates. It's just a matter of your personal preference. The next page over is the invitations page. And as I mentioned before, I really love this page because I'm the type of person that really enjoys designing the invitation from scratch. So I'll use Canva and pull different elements, inspiration for design, and then I make sure to fill out all of the important information that I want to include in the invitation. I also use this section here as like a quick little brain dump of the things that I want to write on the invitation, as well as a quick mock-up of the design. The next page over is decorations, and you guys, this is the page that I really go into tons of detail with. I like to break things down by area and really just make note of every little thing. I'm a detail-oriented person when it comes to parties, so I like to make sure every single thing is accounted for and nothing goes unnoticed. I also love this section down here where I can take note of any inventory I already have on hand and things I want to make or buy. The next page over is the menu. Now for this specific party, because it's a sips and dips kind of theme, the menu is a little bit abstract in terms of, because it's a potluck, you don't really have much to fill out when it comes to main dishes, sides, and all that. But I still made note of things like any extras, like I knew I wanted to include an assorted ice bar and a DIY garnish station, so I added that. This potluck planner, however, is really useful because I tend to host a lot of kind of grazing table style events where people do like to bring their own dishes and this and that. And then I also have a little mini mood board here, inspire some presentation ideas and remind myself of a few recipes I would like to try. The next page over is games and activities, and here's where I kind of made note of a couple of DIY or crafting projects that the girls and I would be interested in doing. I may not include both, but this was just my brainstorming session, and I had the idea of maybe doing a candle painting with the tea light candles as the wax paint, and also a DIY ornament station. You can never really go wrong with that for the holidays. And then lastly, I also included a game option. There's this game that I've been really wanting to play. It's called Hues and Cues. Again, all of this information is on the blog post and I have links to everything. So if you're interested in this kind of party or you want to directly copy my theme, feel free to head over there. For me, half the fun of a party or event is actually the planning process behind it. So the last page I worked on was the dress code page, and you can set yourself a budget. You can add a shopping list. I went ahead and included the quirky Christmas themed dress code, and then just some inspiration pics of outfits, hair, makeup, all the styling details. And this is also one of my favorite aspects of party planning is, you know, the styling. It's just like the fashion girly in me really likes this process. So yeah, that's basically how I planned out this party using a tab. So as you can see, it's all tucked into tab number 2. If you swipe over, you'll see each planner page template in order, and then tab 3. So this wouldn't be the end of my party plans. I would still continue to add more templates in. Let's say I may want to add a gift idea log because this particular party would be for the holidays / a birthday. So I may want to add a gift idea log. I would definitely want to add a event photo album at the end as well. So maybe an extra note page where I could add in a couple of recipe cards for some of the dips I plan to make and all that. I hope this was helpful to kind of see an example of how I would use the planner myself, and I really hope you guys enjoy this planner just in time for the holiday season. But again, this would work for any kind of party, birthday celebration, anniversary, or just for fun, you know, any excuse to have a party. Life's too short, let's have some fun. And I hope that this digital planner eases the flow of hosting and eliminates as much chaos as possible so that everything is more streamlined and organized. And that way you can be the hostess with the mostest. And for even more party planning ideas, I have an entire board on Pinterest with over 900 pins, and it's updated daily. So you can head over to my Pinterest. I will leave the link in the description and get tons and tons of inspiration for parties there as well. And check out my blog series called Party Planning, where you can directly copy some of these party plans that I've laid out from top to bottom, including invitation templates that you can edit on Canva, and all the way down to Spotify music playlists that you can have on the background of your party. Hope you guys enjoy this planner, and I'm so looking forward to your feedback on this. Have a wonderful holiday season, and I'll catch you in the next one.